wrestling fans? Brian Crazy, Effin' True Wrestling, back at you with this week's SmackDown review and some other pretty interesting information out of the WWE. First things first, Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger received a heck of a push last year. He was given the World Heavyweight title. He was given, the main event spot for several months, and some sources say backstage Jack Swagger became a little too confident, a little too cocky, and him being knocked down to the mid-card is kind of his quote-unquote punishment. When you get a chance, especially in a place like the WWE, you tread lightly. Of course you want to make your voice heard, and you don't want to be trampled on like any other human being, but you respect the opportunity that's been given to you. And by him going and, I don't know exactly who he rubbed the wrong way, but I'm sure it was probably somebody that's been in the business longer than him, and it took longer for them to get to that point. If you haven't noticed, a lot more new stars are being pushed this day versus a lot of older stars. And which there's no problem with that. I love new, fresh talent. But in the same right, I am nostalgic as all hell, so I'm not even going to lie. I like, kind of the reason I like TNA. I got to see Nash, I got to see Jarrett, I got to see Hall, I got to see, just a bunch of great talent that I grew up with, and I guess I'm just trying to hold on to it a little bit, quote unquote to say. Getting back to it though, Swagger, I guess his attitude has improved, but I really hope that he understands the opportunity has been given. They've let go, close to 30 superstars this year. Yes, that video will be coming. I mentioned it in previous videos. A video about released superstars in WWE and TNA, and also in remembrance of all the superstars we have lost. Because, even just thinking about it kind of makes me a little sad. Some of the greatest legends that we grew up watching on television, just never got a chance. To their own choices or just choices that were made for them. But let's keep this moving on, guys. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time with just a quick results show. Another big thing, real quick, before we jump into the results, the Royal Rumble. Everybody knows Royal Rumble's now 40-man. Vince McMahon's real excited about it. Pat Patterson, who is one of the innovators of the Royal Rumble concept, is not. He feels like it now dilutes the individual superstar who competes in the Rumble. Because now there is, that much less of a chance to be able to win and to be able to go on to WrestleMania. So, SmackDown for this week. First things first, we had a dark match. For you guys that don't know, dark matches are for the crowd. They get the crowd excited. They get them pumped up. Test out the equipment. It tests out the ring. It tests out the ropes. It tests out, everything. Placement, camera angles. They play around with everything. This is their way to get ready for airtime. So we saw Showtime Percy Watson, who is, I believe, still competes. Still competing in FCW. He defeated Chavo Guerrero in what was a good contest. The fans in the arena said it was fantastic. They enjoyed it very much. Next thing's next. This is now going to be on Sci-Fi, airing January 28th here in the States. Vickie Guerrero comes out like usual. Excuse me. She gets interrupted by Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton gets a huge ovation from the crowd, when really has he not lately? He is a tweener. If you guys don't know what a tweener is a guy that's kind of a heel, but he's got face-like tendencies. The guy's an evil son of a bitch, but everybody still likes him. Just like Austin. Yeah, Austin was breaking the rules and doing everything he wasn't supposed to be doing, but come on, who honestly did not like Stone Cold? That's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Orton asked Vickie to excuse him for what he's going to do to her boyfriend tonight. If you guys don't know, big tag match is coming on. It's going to be Miz and Dolph going against Edge and Orton. Then Orton cuts a promo about how he's going to take the WWE title away from The Miz. Dolph Ziggler now comes out and demanded respect for him and his girlfriend. Orton ended it with an RKO to Ziggler. Respect is given. It's not, respect is earned. It's not given. Excuse me. Next, we see a Divas contest. Now, Joey went on a rant the other day about the Divas. I think the Divas, this is the way I'm going to put it, and I think one of our subscribers made it the best. When you had Divas like Chyna and Lita and Trish, and then you had Divas like, Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson and, that wrestled occasionally. You had two sides of a card. You had athletic divas, and then you had, your valets, your occasional wrestler divas that are put in a quote-unquote gimmick match or this, that, or the other. Now you're seeing that they're taking a whole bunch of, they're beautiful women, don't get me wrong, beautiful women, but they're taking all these women that really don't have a, sports background, that they were models, they were this, that, or the other. Maybe they're aspiring wrestlers, don't get me wrong, don't give them a chance, but they're being thrown right in, and then you've got career wrestlers like Hamada, the list goes on and on. I'm not going to sit here and just go on a rant myself, but there's some females that still have a lot of talent, don't get me wrong, and there's some that just really don't belong in the ring. It's all about booking, it's all about the creative team, it's all about what the WWE feels comfortable with. For the creative team that does not watch TNA and swears it's crap, you better, tune in and check out the Knockouts division, because that's what you should be trying to aspire for your quote-unquote Divas division to become. I felt like the women's title was a sign of empowerment for women. I think it was an incredible idea. I think, a woman can do anything a man can in this world, and they probably can do it better. Don't get me wrong. And, just to try to label them as quote-unquote divas to compete with the quote-unquote knockouts over here. I know I've said quote-unquote about 50 times in this video. I'm going to try to cut it out. But to sum up the match, we see Layla and Michelle McCool defeat Kelly and Caitlyn. Kelly and Caitlyn attacked Lay Cool during their entrance, but McCool got the quick win by pinning Caitlyn. I assume with a fast roll-up. Unfortunately, I have not seen this footage firsthand of this match yet. Then we see Drew McIntyre go against JTG. This is a squash match. I mean, obviously, when you heard the music hit, you knew what was going to happen. Drew picked up the win with the Future Shock DDT. Kelly stayed out for commentary on the match. The whole angle with her and Drew, I don't really know where they're going with this. And looked on at Drew as he left the ring after winning. I don't know. Did Drew fight fair during this match? I don't know. I haven't seen the footage yet. So I guess Friday, depending on how much additional things happen, maybe me and JC will bring you a full, detailed review from first-hand experience. Next, we see Todd Grisham interviewing Cody Rhodes backstage. We see Cody keeps his back turned the whole time. Rey Mysterio broke his nose last week, if you guys don't remember. Doctors won't let Cody compete, and Cody says he no longer feels dashing. Well, that's alright. We got a subscriber on here, Dashing Kevin Walsh. He'll take your job all day, buddy. And backstage interview with Edge, talking about the core, and teaming with Orton later on tonight. Then we see Alberto Del Rio, who is my pick for the Royal Rumble. You see him introduce himself to Michael Tarver backstage. Now, we've seen Tarver standing backstage the last week or so. How is he going to play into the core? Is he, he was kicked out of the Nexus. Does he still feel like he wants to try to side with Barrett? Is he going to start a new faction? Is he going to align himself with Del Rio temporarily to increase both of those men's odds in winning the Royal Rumble? I would love to see Del Rio win. It would be something new. It would be something fresh, in the words of JC. Kofi Kingston won a Battle Royal, by eliminating Alberto Del Rio and Kane last. Kane and Del Rio came back, but Rey Mysterio came in to make the save. Vickie Guerrero came out to announce Del Rio and Kane versus Kofi and Rey. So, oh my god, I would have to mute my TV for about that 10 minutes. No disrespect, I love Eddie Guerrero, but man, that wife of yours got some voice on her. She's probably a sweet person, I don't doubt it. She's probably the nicest person going, but that voice, I mean, my god. You just hope that she would have to get a trach. So we'll go to the next match. We then see Mysterio and Kingston beat Del Rio and Kane. So I guess we're seeing a battle royal and a tag match. Are both of these going to be televised? I don't know. I'm kind of reading the information that's coming to me, and it's a little spotty in this section, but I'll just read off pretty much what it says. Mysterio and Kingston beat Del Rio and Kane in a great match. Kane ended up hitting Del Rio and leaving. Ray and Kofi and their finishers on Del Rio hit their finishers on Del Rio, and Kofi got the pin to win the match. Then we had Big Show come out and talk about the Core and talk about the Royal Rumble. The Core came out to surround the ring, and Show challenged one of them to a match. So Slater ends up going against Show. Big Show. Excuse me, guys. I was outside shoveling for about 4 hours this morning. We got another about 14 inches here in Connecticut to add on top of the 47 or so inches we've got already. It's like record snowfall. My God. Big Show won with the choke slam. After the match, the Core came out to attack, and then all the Raw and SmackDown superstars made the save. So if they were, kind of going towards a Core being a face group, I think the Core's heels as much as all. I think that they're just hell-bent on the destruction of the former group that they were part of, the Nexus. Then we see Edge and Randy Orton go against The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. We see Edge hit his spear on Dolph Ziggler and pick up the win for his team. Post-match, Vickie Guerrero says the spear is now banned. If Edge uses it at Royal Rumble, Dolph Ziggler automatically wins and gets the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God. Alright. Edge is an innovator. He's going to do something freaking sick on Sunday night. We just know it's going to happen. I mean, he's going to come out with some finisher that's just going to rock the world. It's going to be awesome. Unless, wouldn't it be great? I mean, not great, because I know I would love to see Edge and Christian just as much as anybody else. Wouldn't it be great if that's how they brought back Christian as a heel, to have him, kind of screws Edge out of the win? I mean, yeah, like I said, I would love to see these two guys team. They've had some of the best TLC matches in the history of wrestling. But, just for the interesting fact, it could turn into an intriguing storyline leading into the road to WrestleMania. To kind of close out this review here, we're going to have to see what happens on SmackDown for any of the missing information. I apologize for that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I enjoy all the fan interaction. I enjoy you guys. The YouTube wrestling community is more than I ever thought it could be when me and JC joined. F and True Wrestling is just growing, and it's growing because of you. You already know that, though. So, for F and True Wrestling, this has been Brian Crazy with this week's SmackDown review. We will catch you hopefully tonight with TNA Impact review. Big night on TNA. Scott Steiner is supposedly supposed to debut, so let's see what happens. That's what they filmed, but if that's what they air is another story. Brian Crazy, F and True, and have yourselves a great afternoon.